Hello, Sandhya. Good afternoon.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
We will wait for some time. Ajay also joining. Then we can start. We can start. He will join within 5 minutes. Turn on your camera. Okay. Hi, Sandhya. Good afternoon.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Uh,
Good afternoon.
Tell me something about yourself so I can understand who are you personally.
Good afternoon, sir. First of all, thank you for giving me this opportunity to introduce myself. I am Kale Sandhya Kishan Rao. I am from Nanded. I have completed Bachelor of Engineering in Mechanical stream from SRTM University, Nanded.
Okay. In which year you completed your degree?
2019.
Okay. After that, in last 3 years, what you are doing?
Sir, I was preparing for competitive exams,
Okay.
MPSC.
Okay. So why you suddenly change your mind from competitive exam to front-end development?
Sir, from starting, I have interest in computer, but then when I was preparing for competitives, my roommates were from computer background, and they always discuss about coding and computer languages, and from there, I have interest in coding.
Okay. So in coding, why you choose particularly front-end front-end side, not a back-end side or anything else?
Sir, first I choose start learning from means starting first languages HTML, CSS, and JavaScript because I want to gain knowledge about first these languages. Then,
Okay. So how you describe yourself? Uh, how can you be a asset for our company?
sir, I think I have the qualification standard that you are needed, and I will assure that I give my 100% best to your company, and I can finish that work given to me on time.
Okay. So do you have any prior experience in front-end development?
Yes, sir. I have experience about 1.5 years.
Okay. Um, so moving towards the technical round, what is HTML?
HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, and it is used for creating static web pages.
Okay. Uh, in you know anchor tag?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So why we use anchor tag?
Right, to redirect from one page to another page, we use anchor tag.
Okay. So if we uh, how can you open any URL into a new tab using anchor tag?
Means by giving attribute value means target attribute value underscore blank, we means we can open the document in new tab.
Okay. What is the difference between HTML and HTML5?
HTML5 is the updated version of HTML4, and in HTML5 we new tags are introduced like header, footer, section, nav. These are the semantic tags we means introduced by HTML5, and HTML5 gives us some APIs like web storages, fetch, geolocation, drag and drop, and HTML5 gives some multimedia tag like audio, video tag.
Okay. In HTML, uh, how can we insert audio video? Because in as you say in HTML we don't have audio video tag.
Yes, yes, sir. Can you repeat the question?
In HTML before HTML5, how can we use audio video?
Um, there is a flash tag.
Do you know about that?
No, sir, I don't have much information about that, but I heard about.
Okay. What is meta tag
Meta tag gives some additional information about the HTML element.
and
No,
doc
no,
tag?
no, sorry, sir. Meta tag, no, sir.
Okay. Hmm. What is the doc type?
Doc type is the document type. It tells the browser that which version of HTML we used.
Okay. For commenting any paragraph, uh, what we use in HTML?
Commenting.
Yeah. You can comment any code or any some lines of paragraph in HTML. Do you know? Do you know that? Okay. Uh, do you know block level element, inline element?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is the difference between a block level and inline elements?
Uh, inline element inline element always equal to its width of content, and block element always equal to its parent width. Inline element always start on same line, and block element start on new line. Width we cannot apply width to inline element, and we can apply width to block level element. And we cannot apply top to bottom margin to inline element, and we can apply margin in all four directions to block element. And examples of inline element are anchor tag, image, span. And examples of block elements are div, headings like h1 to h6, and ul table.
Okay. How can we create a ordered list using
By
HTML?
using by using ul tag. So in that we use lis.
Okay. Do you know iframe?
So,
Iframe.
no, sir.
Okay. One second. Okay. How can we create a hyperlink in HTML?
Hyperlink
Yeah.
uh, using anchor text.
Okay. Do you know canvas?
No, sir.
Uh, do you know SVG elements?
No, sir.
Okay. Uh, in web storage, how many types are there?
Web storage is and local storage and session storage.
Can you brief in with
Yes,
that?
sir. Yes, sir. In local storage, we store the data means permanently forever there until we remove the data. Means data will be there store forever, and until we remove it manually. And in session storage, data will be removed means as soon as session expires, like closing the tab.
Okay. What is semantic elements?
Semantic elements clearly describes that its meaning to both a browser and developer, and in that means it tells that the type of content inside that element.
Okay. Any example of that?
Examples of semantic elements are section, footer, header, nav.
Okay. Is HTML is case sensitive?
No, sir.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Sandhya? Okay. What are the style sheet? How can we give a CSS to any HTML content?
There are three ways to apply CSS to HTML elements: inline CSS, internal or embedded CSS, and external CSS. Inline CSS means we write CSS in HTML elements, means using style attribute. And in internal or embedded CSS means we write CSS within head using style HTML element. And in external CSS, we write a CSS in an external file and attach that file in HTML page using link.
Okay. Which CSS have higher priority?
Inline, inline CSS.
Okay. How can we change any font size of any element?
Sir, can you repeat the question?
How can we apply a font size to any elements?
By using font size property.
Okay. Okay. Ajay sir is there. Ajay, do you have any question about HTML CSS? I think you are mute, Ajay. We can't hear you. Okay. We are continuing with CSS. What is box model? Sandhya?
Box model. Every HTML element is considered as box, and it consists content, padding, border, and margin.
Can you describe that?
Yes, sir. Content means the information or data held by HTML element. Padding is the space between content and border. Border separates padding and margin. And margin means the space occupied by HTML element outside its border.
Okay. What is DOM?
DOM is a document object model, means when a HTML page renders in a browser, browser engine converts each and every element in a document object model in an object, and we call that structure document object model.
What is the difference between visibility hidden and display none?
Visibility. In display none means the element is will remove from the layout, and thus means its space occupied by next element, and it will change the structure of layout. And visibility hidden, the element will be there but not visible to user, and it will not change the structure of layout.
Okay. How can we give a media query to any HTML file?
By using a media query service, uh,
Uh, how can we write? Can we explain that?
first there is anchor tag, then media, and means
Anchor
and
tag or
then media, media.
is there an anchor tag or at the
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. And means at the rate media. Sorry, sir. At the rate media, and then we use and word. Then all means we use give, means we give it according to our minimum or maximum width.
okay?
In curly braces, we write.
Okay. Okay. What is a pseudo selector?
Pseudo
What is the
selector, what sir?
what is a pseudo selector and what is a different type of that?
Means pseudo selector is used to select any state means HTML element, and there are two types of pseudo selector: pseudo class selector and pseudo element selector. Pseudo class selector is used to define particular any state of HTML element like over, focus, active, and pseudo element selector we used to define we used to define a particular state of HTML element like after, before, we use selection and first first letter, first line.
Okay. What is the units we use it to use CSS?
Units for applying CSS
Yeah.
means we use a pixel and REM
Is there any other units?
in percentage also.
Okay. What is position and different types of position we use?
We use four types of positions in CSS, five types of position in CSS: static, sticky, position relative, position absolute, and fixed. And by default, position is static.
Okay. Uh, what is position fixed?
Position fixed means if we give the position fixed, then that element will be at that particular positions.
Okay. If we give position absolute to any element and we not given any position relative, so what will be happen?
Without giving position relative, sir,
Yeah.
that position will not apply, sir.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. What is inline block?
Inline block.
Yeah. Display inline block.
We give means display inline block. We give to the element means if you want that element on the same line or another lines means if we use a block element, then we give display inline block. And
Okay. Hello, Ajay. Are you there?
Hey, hi. Am I audible now?
Yeah. You're audible.
Hey, hi, Sandhya.
hello, sir.
How are you doing?
Good, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Can you tell me the what is meant by box model?
Yes, sir. Every HTML element is considered as box, and it consists content, padding, border, and margin.
So, can you tell me the various? There are various types of pseudo classes. So, can you tell me there are various different types of pseudo classes? What are
Yes,
the
sir. Pseudo classes are over, focus, active, the child.
or
Sir,
focus? Okay. n child or n type?
It's first of type, last of types.
Okay. So then what is the difference between the pseudo elements and pseudo classes?
Pseudo classes is used to define any state of HTML element, and pseudo element define the particular state of that element.
Okay. Okay. So, Mr. Abhijit sir, can you please continue?
Okay. What is JavaScript?
JavaScript is the object-oriented programming language. It is used on both client side and server side, and it is a lightweighted and interpreted language, and it is used to make web pages interactive.
Okay. Can you define JavaScript in 3 words?
JavaScript is case-sensitive language. It is lightweighted and object-oriented language.
Okay. How can we uh, remove element from an array?
By using pop method, we can remove the last element from an array, and we use slice method also for removing the elements.
Is there any other method available?
Slice method also.
How can we remove first element?
By using shift method, we remove the first element.
Okay.
Can you please differentiate between the slice and splice method?
Yes, sir. Splice method accepts two arguments, and both are not mandatory, and it does not modify the original array. And the second argument of slice method does not include in the result, and the splice method accepts three arguments, and it modifies the original array. And in splice method, first argument is at which index we want to add or delete the element, and second argument is how many elements we want to delete from that array, and third argument means which value we want to add in that array.
Okay. What are the data types?
There are two types of data types: primitive data type and non-primitive data types.
Okay. Give any example?
Yes, sir. Primitive data types are string, number, boolean, undefined, and null. And non-primitive data types object, array, function.
Okay. What is the difference between undefined and non-defined?
Undefined means when we declare the property but not assign any value, and not defined, we don't declare the property.
Okay. What is the coercion?
Coercion means conversion of one data type into another data type.
Okay. What are the types of coercion?
Types of coercion.
Yeah. Okay. What is Windows scope?
Windows scope. Yes, Windows scope means we can means variable. Sir, just give me 1 second. I will. This in Windows scope, availability and accessibility of variables throughout the scope.
Okay. What is the hoisting?
Hoisting is the default behavior of JavaScript in which all the declarations shifted to the top of the scope, but not their values.
Okay. What are the factory methods?
Factory method is a blueprint for creating instances with different references.
Can you define pure function?
Yes, sir. Pure function is the means pure function must return something, and it should be means there should be same output for same input, and in pure function it should not depend on external dependency, like external declarations.
What is higher order function?
A higher order function means a function which accepts another function as a parameter or argument.
What is the traversing?
Traversing means like it traversing is used to describe the means relationship between that elements.
What are the methods? Give me some few methods name.
Traversing methods.
Yeah.
Uh, parent element, childhood children, first element child, last element child.
What we do in a child node?
Child node it returns means when we have to select the means child of that any element means
Can it select a white space between the element?
yes sir, it it returns as text node that space.
What are the events?
Events are sir, mouse move event, mouse over, mouse out, click, double click, focus, blur, key up and key down events.
What is a void zero?
Can you repeat the question, sir?
What is void zero?
No, sir.
What is object?
Object object is nothing but means where we can store multiple data or information in the form of key value pair.
What is a callback function?
Callback function means a function which is passed as parameter.
Okay. What is a call, apply, and break method? Do you know that?
Call apply and bind. No, sir, I don't know.
Okay. What is a first class function?
First class function means when we means store a function as a variable.
Okay. What is a lexical scope?
A lexical scope. Lexical scope is a scope of parent.
And a closure?
Closure means when we write a child function inside a, when we write a child function inside a parent function, and then we call the that parent function, it returns the child function definition, and the child function means gives the all data or information of that parent function.
Okay. Do you know event bubbling?
I don't,
Okay. Event capturing?
sorry sir.
What is a class?
Sir, I little information about that, just heard about that. It is a feature of ES6. Sir.
What are the variables we use in JavaScript?
Variables.
How we
Um,
define a variables?
Variable means we use variable to store the data or information.
What is difference between a double equal to and triple equal to operator?
In double equal to operator, it checks the only value, and triple equal to operator checks means value as well as data type.
What is called variable typing?
Variable typing.
Yeah. What is the difference between alert box and confirmation box?
Alert box and it's a
Confirmation box.
confirmation box.
Yeah.
Alert box means it gives the pop-up that means alert. We give that message. And, I don't know information about confirmation box.
Okay. What are the errors in JavaScript? There are few errors, right? Hello,
Yes, sir.
can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I said, what are the errors?
Means, sir, 404 error, then there is page not.
404. What is the meaning by 404 error?
Means
Why it happens?
when what, sir?
Why system gives a 404 error?
If we give the means wrong URL or means if we not give the correct URL and means when page is not proper.
What is a name spacing?
Name spacing.
Yeah. I just send one array in chat box. How can we remove a duplicate number in that array? In from that
Packet numbers.
duplicate number, yeah. Mhm. Can you write a code to retrieve 1 to 10 numbers?
Yes.
You can share your screen as well.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Don't use Visual Studio.
Yes.
You can write in Notepad. Yes, or Notepad.
Sir, from 1 to 10. Yes.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Is that right code?
Yes, sir.
Do you know function?
Yes, sir. Function. Yes, sir.
How how can we write a function?
Means first we write the function, then function name, and, in that function means what functionality, sir, in curly braces. We write the functionality.
Okay. What is the JSON methods?
JSON method is JavaScript object notation, and it is used to interchange the data.
What are the methods?
JSON.stringify and JSON.parse.
Okay. Okay. I will send some code. Wait a minute. What is the answer of that? Hello.
Hello, sir.
I sent some code in chat box. Can you answer that?
111, sir. 111.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Is there any cohesion happen in that code?
Twenty-one, sir. Yes.
No, you are sure? Okay. No, check it later. How can we define a array? Any blank array?
Define.
Yeah. I want a array, blank array. How can you define that?
By using means using square brackets, sir. Means
Is there any other method?
By using new keywords, we can create it.
Okay. I sent it another two lines. Uh, what are the type of that STR? What are you thinking? You can.
Sir, can you repeat the question, sir? Means what you asked?
Okay, one second. Okay, now you can understand. There is a one STR is equal to 1, and there is a second line STR is equal to plus not STR and console.log type of STR. So what is the result in console?
Number,
Yeah.
the type
Hello.
is number.
How?
Sir, means here one is in string, and means here we say that one is not string. We add means
Can you explain? Okay. What is the default set timeout value?
what, sir? Sir, voice is breaking. Sir.
Hello. Can you? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What is the set timeout default value? Default timeout value.
Set timeout is 0.
0.
Second set timeout default.
What is an N?
Null is not a number, sir.
Okay. Okay. There is a one array. In that array, I want to remove a third element. So how can I remove? Can you write
By
that? There is one array. Take any array of 5 elements or string elements.
in array string
In
elements, sir.
array, five string elements. Take any five string element. One, two, three, four, five. String, not number. I said string.
Yes. Sir, third element.
Yes, you need to remove third element. Are you done?
Yes, sir.
Okay, explain that.
Sir, there are string values in the array. So means we have to convert it into array first. That's why we use here split method. And then after converting that means in array.
It is already an array, right?
Sir, but values are string, means elements are string. So
So you are meaning we can't remove any string element from array.
we can remove series. So,
So why you use a split method for it?
sir, I got confused, sir.
Okay, go ahead, continue. Don't change the code, only explain. Okay, okay, no issues. Explain your 12th number line. What
Sir,
happening?
here we want to remove the third element from this array. Then that's why we use splice method. And here we give the index means which of that element we want to remove. Here we want to remove the third element. That's why and in array means from index number starts from 0. That's why we give index seconds.
Okay, and second zero.
Sir, in splice method, second argument for is how many elements we want to add or
How many elements we
we
want to?
want to add or delete. So here it will one, sir. Here
And third element.
third element means which value we want to add, but here we don't add any values. There is 0.
Okay. Okay, Sandhya. It's nice talking to you. And best of luck for your next round.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.